Welcome to the Penny Bloom Podcast. Ain't another place that has got more bombast. Romp past your mom, dad's listening to Tomcats. Talking everything that make you sad. We don't want that. We're here to make you smile. Put your mind at ease. Peace, love, and bloom, and always praise Keanu Reeves. This what we about. This some weeding now. We'll talk until we can't no more, and then we peacing out. Alright, let's go. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome in to the Penny Bloom Podcast. 'Tis I, Colton Robertson, and this is episode 137. I am joined by Aurora Carter. What's up?
Hey, it's your favorite trans girl. What's up?
What's up? It's good to see you. It's good to see you. Good. Thank you for being here. And we're also got Joseph motherfucking George.
What is up? It's a beautiful day. This is a beautiful podcast talking about one of my main men, Ultron.
Yeah. What if? Fuck. A question that changes everything. We're talking episodes 6 through 9. If you want to hear our thoughts on the first half of the season, it's an episode like 130, 129, 131, somewhere in that range. Me and Aurora talk about Shang-Chi with a lot of spoilers. And at the end, we talk about episodes 1 through 5 of What If. So today, as I said, we've got these last 4 episodes of What If, the second half.
Gonna have to contain myself. Like, I'm going, before we get to the main event, I have to contain myself because these first 2 episodes were so good, and I don't want to take away from them.
They were also solid. That's the thing, is that those last 2 really knock you on your fucking ass. But the first 2, they're a little bit more like the first half of the season. You know, they feel more like that.
Just a different dynamic.
It is. It's a different story. It was a different storytelling device. It was a completely different method. So, with that first one, what if Killmonger saved Tony Stark? This one, for me, on the whole of the series, my least favorite, but does not mean it was bad. Mm-hmm. I was all right with it, and I rewatched it earlier today. And again, I was all right with it. I thought it was a little anticlimactic, but come the finale of things, it's like, okay. Made a little bit more sense why you had this here, how you wanted to show him, and so on and so forth. And therefore, with that in mind, it becomes a little better. Aurora, how'd you feel about episode 6, What If Killmonger Saved Tony?
I get it. It was basically Black Panther all over again. Like, it was basically the film, but it's Killmonger, so like, what do you expect? But
I mean, yeah, he's got one goal.
Yeah,
and this is the route in which he got every resource he could to get towards that goal, and by the end of the series, he really gets every resource towards that goal.
Just for a second, though, I wanted to see him. I gotta contain. Sorry.
It was just like, for me, but one thing I would say this really showed how like fucking smart he is. Like, how good of a manipulator he is. He is so calculated. He just got everything to the T. And it's always like a plan A, B, C, D behind every step. But then this series kind of showed me so far that like Tony Stark kind of, like, he just meant to die no matter what. Like, it's just like,
did you see that the creator of this show has been like receiving hate mail and like I'm certain death threats for how much he killed off Tony Stark?
Yeah, and then,
yes.
Well, people are so pissed about like no, Tony, not you. You know, whenever he's selecting everybody,
yeah,
like, who are chosen, he's like, no, Tony, not you. Like, I'm not talking to you. Like,
step the fucking side. You got your moment.
This was kind of. I mean, it's like, we're done with Tony Stark. That's what Marvel is saying. Like, we're done. Like, he's dead. Like, move on. You know, like, we had this tough Spidey moments and stuff, but like, he's gone, and like, I don't know. I think they're just trying to get us like used to that idea.
Well, and here's the thing, is that he did the big thing. The big thing for the first 10 years of Marvel, he was the ultimate sacrifice for. Mm-hmm. Guess what? Putting him into stories makes him an easy choice as to who gets killed in this what if, because it brings stakes, it tells you this is an important person who got killed, but it also doesn't fucking matter. Tony Stark had his chance. He had his reality.
I think it's like Steve and Tony have been the main characters of Marvel for however long.
Yeah.
And now we're finally letting every other character shine. Like, they've had their spotlight forever, and they're done and dead. So it's like, let's move on. We have all these awesome other characters that we can focus on. And that's what this series has been, and it's been awesome. So, I mean,
yeah, and I mean, Killmonger in this episode 6, when he does kill Tony and use Tony the entire time, it showed how blinded Tony was by his previous goals. It doesn't matter what peace means having the bigger stick, etc., etc. Mm-hmm. And Killmonger was very, 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 very a big proponent of that idea. So of course they clicked instantly, which is mad interesting.
But
I mean, he was just using him. It wasn't like a true click. Like he was fucking him over.
They kind of align though. Like, in a way, they do align
to a degree until like Tony sees it as arming America to create peace, and Killmonger wants to liberate colored people all over the world.
But one thing I got to say about this episode, I still can't get over the effect that hearing Chadwick's voice.
I know. And this was the only one where he's just straight up T'Challa.
Yes, and it's really like, even not from the sad part, just hearing like how good of a voice actor he was, like this all around actor period. But then it was just like when he's talking, first of all, I was getting straight up Lion King vibes when he was talking to him. I was just like, wow, like this is really touching my heart. Like, that whole scene right there was just really like, wow. And then also saying Angela Bassett's character, I forgot his mother's name, but
oh yeah,
I don't know if they ever said it, but
yeah, they have, I'm sure.
Yeah, but just seeing her just like fuck shit up, like I was just like, wow. Like, I don't know. It's just that whole episode, like, yes, it wasn't like, like you said, like the best one, but like the elements that he had in it was really good. Honestly, it was
it had all the foundations. It had this robot army that was incredibly anime inspired, as Killmonger put. He's a big fan.
I love that. Yeah,
I love that too. It was just like, well, yeah, like obviously this. Like, I love whenever they're like, oh yeah, these characters are also take in media, like the way they did with Wanda throughout all of WandaVision, and here with Killmonger talking about anime. I just like that a lot.
So, like, did they specifically mention Gundam in the episode, or did they just say anime in general? Like, I think they actually mentioned, like, a specific... I think he mentioned a specific one, but I'm not sure.
Oh, I'm not sure either.
But, I remember him saying I like anime.
I wonder if people are saying, like, if that anime's universe is now MCU. Like, is now in the MCU. Like, whether as a form of media or legitimately, I wonder like what's going on there. But
that'd be fun. Well, I like when things like that are confirmed. Like in Shang-Chi, whenever him and Katie are in the club performing Old Town Road by Lil Nas X, it implies that Lil Nas X survived the snap because that came out in 2019 and he would have had to been able to make that song, and so on and so forth. Like that,
and like for me, when I screamed at Doctor Strange when I heard Beyonce, and I was like, yes, she everywhere.
Wong listening to Single Ladies.
That was so fucking funny.
or Lil Nas made that song before he got blipped, and then the studio put it out as like a post-blip, like one-hit wonder.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, Old Town Road might have been originally independently released, but which is fucking absurd if that's the case. I can't remember though.
If that's true, that is insane.
Because it was huge.
That means he pocketed a lot of money.
A lot of money.
Like he got mullah, funds, green, M's.
Oh, I remember because he was like performing it at schools and stuff. It was a SoundCloud release, wasn't it?
First released independently in December of 2019 or 2018. Independently.
2018.
Then released, re-released by Columbia Records March 2019.
There you go.
Maybe that's when it got.
It didn't pop off until it was studio released, but it got him famous enough.
No, it popped off like December.
I mean, it was more of the meme song at first, and then Columbia signed him. They re-released it, and then they did the
re-release was whenever Billy Ray's version dropped.
Yeah.
So like that song still popped before Billy Ray was on it.
That's true.
Wait.
Yeah, it did.
Did you ever hear a version without Billy Ray?
Yeah,
no,
I did.
Billy Ray was on the original.
No, Billy Ray was
No,
the remix.
he wasn't.
Oh, that's true. That was the first remix.
And
then they had another remix with the little
Jack
yodel
Harlow
kid.
And, yeah. And then I forgot about that one. Wow.
And then wasn't there a Young Thug remix, like the Slime remix?
It's the little yodel. And then there was Lil Wayne. Who else was on that? Jack Harlow and Tory Lanez, I think. That one actually slaps. That one slaps. Yeah, that remix slaps. But man, what a timeline.
That's funny. But yeah, on episode 6, I don't have a ton of other thoughts. I thought that it is a compelling setup for what we eventually get with Killmonger in the finale, and that's the priority. You know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's like looking back on this episode now, it is a lot more interesting. Just having the knowledge, I'm thinking of, because I haven't rewatched this episode. I only watched it one time. I'm like just thinking about like rewatching it, like with that knowledge, how like the episode would be.
It becomes more like, oh damn! Like putting him in this one spot grants him access to do everything he ever wanted, like all the way up to Ultron and the Infinity Stones. Like that's what's crazy to me, is that decision puts him on a path to where he, spoilers alert, gets put in a fucking dimension with Ultron alone. Or Zola? Is it Zola at that point?
It is Zola.
Like Zola's taken over Ultron's
body?
It's
Zola. It's Zola, yeah.
Oh.
He's the main, yeah. Yeah, that's Zola.
Oh, yeah, at that point.
Yeah.
By that time. But
well, no, he has it I think Killmonger has it on when it's just Ultron, and then it gets taken off of him, and then the virus gets put in him, and so then he comes out, and then he's like fighting with him, like
because you remember, I think because Black Widow already aimed the arrow in his eye before that.
Yeah. So it was only
because Zola had stood up, and then Killmonger went in and was like, "Okay, now I got the colorful, stones. Now I'm strong." Yeah.
I thought it was a bold. I mean, we'll get more to this later. I thought it was a bold choice to put a Nazi into Ultron's body. And
bold as fuck.
That'll be good. This is a good idea.
I would have been like, Nazi?
Wild.
Nazi. They really keep bringing Hydra back, It really, as you cut one head off,
it always comes back. Well, and here's the thing. I'm always okay with the idea that Hydra keeps coming back, because it really is just such a classic Marvel foe.
Yeah.
And it's such an easy one to fucking hate. Like, it's
That's
like,
true. You immediately hate the Nazis.
What's worse than Nazis?
You immediately hate the Nazis.
No, I might get hate for this, and I know, like y'all say, well, Hydra comes back, after this, I don't want no more Infinity Stones. I'm sorry, I just feel like it's like, come on now. Like,
it was interesting that was like the ultimate culmination of the show, was a character.
Yeah, because I get it, because it's like, what if this is all the stuff we know up to this point, and the big thing was the Infinity Stone, so I get it. But I just don't want to see them like Loki. Okay, we had a little brief moment of the Infinity Stones, and now we.
I think we're kind of moving past it. I think we're eventually going to get to this stuff that's even bigger than the Infinity Stones with the Eternals and Celestials and stuff like that. Like, we're about to get straight to the source. Fuck these stones. Like, it's like...
Well, this was a last hurrah. This was like, you just saw what Thanos did. Now here's what would happen, with total control. Like, this was like, this is what you wanted to see. You're welcome. We're not going to put it in canon, movies anymore. We'll give it to you here and thank you. I'm very grateful that they did it here as a last hurrah, but I'm fine with, I'm good with whatever Marvel does now. I've gotten everything I've ever needed.
Yeah, exactly.
In episode 8 alone, so.
I'm going to tell you what I needed. I needed Frost Giant Loki.
That was sick.
I needed Frost Giant Loki, and we got Frost Giant Loki in episode 7 of What If Thor were an only child. And I gotta say, Thor would be pretty much the same, it seems.
Yeah, but we'd be throwing a rager on Earth right now, bro.
A little bit more irresponsible, but he wasn't that responsible.
Come on, we'd be raging right now on Earth, bro, with Thor, in Loki.
It'd be pretty high.
We'd be introduced to all those life forms. Yeah. This one I'm down with, man. I would love to have that party. I mean, Earth.
I'm gonna tell you, this one for the second half of the series was the What If T'Challa were a Star-Lord. This is the fun one. Get ready, we're about to blow your fucking socks off.
This
one's my favorite of the series. Like, not the best, but my favorite, I think.
This one finally answered the question for everybody, to finally shut up about who's the strongest of it, who would win in a 1v1. Like, the fact, like, they specifically said, like, yeah, Captain Marvel is holding back so much of her power so that she doesn't kill the population of this planet. Like, they said it out loud. Like, she has to hold back so much so that she just literally doesn't kill everything around her. Like, yeah. It's just, like, I feel like this episode was just Marvel's way of being like, yeah, Captain Marvel, she's literally imbued with an Infinity Stone. What do you expect? Like, just accept the fact that she's going to whop Thor if she wants to.
Like when Maria Hill is like, drop the nuke, and he's like, well, what about Captain Marvel? And he's like, and she's like, oh, she'll be fine.
Yeah,
like,
she Gucci.
All right, I'm not worried about her. Like, that's a tickle.
Drop
she'll absorb
a nuke on her.
That'll make her stronger.
Like, she's like, Fury said your punch was the power of 2 nuclear bombs or whatever, and she's like, well, it fucking would be if you wanted the planet to die.
I love that. She was like, girl, if I do that, this is over.
Do you think,
this is
like, if Captain Marvel wanted to, could she, like, literally do what the Power Stone does to a planet? Like, basically?
Well, I think about the way she, like, flies through ships. She could absolutely do that to a planet.
So her, when I thought about how strong she was, even like strength-wise, whenever the X-Men come introduced and Rogue absorbs that shit, I'm just saying, like, that's immediately the first thing I thought about. I said, oh, the X-Girls are going to be amazing. I just had to say that because, like, Jesus.
No, that's a real good point. We've seen some super-powered individuals, plenty of super-powered individuals, but not on the scale that the X-Men and mutants provide them. Like, there are a lot of absurdly powerful mutants that will be eventually introduced that will completely change the, like, power dynamics of how the MCU works. You know what I'm saying?
Just think Magneto versus the Avengers, like, he just wins. Iron Man, juiced. Like, literally dead within seconds. Captain America, wait, does Vibranium, he can still...
Vibranium's a metal, yeah.
Slice his head off. Okay, with his
I would just love to. He like,
wants. Cool.
It's a fun toy. Damn.
Can Magneto lift Mjolnir? Just
That's the thing, though, is that like I don't know what kind
That's
of metal
debatable. That is debatable.
So if he can, I would assume he would probably just crush it. I don't think he would use it against Thor, and then Thor would actually still have his powers. So that's actually a worthy opponent, I guess, of Magneto. But Magneto kind of just lays waste on a lot of people.
Yeah, if Magneto wants to. Like, I mean, we saw X-Men Apocalypse.
But I don't even think that even X-Men Apocalypse even like really touched on like the big stuff about.
Yeah, like he pulled the South Pole out of the ground and put it in the sky once. Like,
yeah, period. You know. Or wait, Colton, we talked about this on one of our podcasts. Oh my God, what's his name?
oh yeah,
the hybrid,
the hybrid Onslaught.
Onslaught. Avengers Dad. Period.
Yeah, Magneto and Professor X combined into one, created a whole other sun in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh wait, y'all talk, and for me to go back just briefly, real quick, what y'all was saying about the episodes when you say you wanted Frost Giant Loki in the end fight. I wanted to see zombie Thanos with the Infinity Stones. That's what I wanted to see pop up.
Yo, I can't believe they didn't follow up on that one.
I'm so pissed about that.
That is kind of wild.
No, because here's the thing, like all the other ones that were like that kind of got brought up at the end, you know, like I mean, obviously Ultron showing up with the Infinity Stones gets followed through on, but all the other ones were like a 2-second thing so that the hero from that reality can get swooped up real quick and taken to protect the multiverse.
Maybe that just makes logical sense. Because like at first I was thinking like, damn, even Thanos as a zombie has the will to go for the stones and do all of that. But like maybe at the time that the zombies were introduced, he already had a stone.
He already had them.
He already had all of them?
He had 5. I don't think he had the Mind Stone.
Yeah,
yet.
so he had so he the stones were keeping him within. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'd obviously want to see.
He didn't have the Mind Stone yet at the end of it?
Nah, because Vision had it and he destroyed it.
Oh, because I thought him having a Mind Stone meant that he killed Peter and all that stuff. Okay.
Oh, if he did have the Mind Stone that still, then yeah. I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah, I could have sworn he had all of them.
Follow up with that. That's a cool. Zombie Thanos would be really cool. Like to see, like I would just wonder, like how much, like if he were to take off the gauntlet, if he would just turn into like just a zombie and like not function at all. You know, he would just be another zombie if without the gauntlet, or if his species really is like as strong, like as like he's made out to be, like the.
Well, I think the Titans overall are. I think they are pretty fucking strong. However, I thought it was interesting that like in that episode, all the zombies could use everything that was provided for them. Like Tony Stark's zombie could use the Iron Man suit, and Doctor Strange could cast spells and shit like that. Like, that's freaky. So Thanos with the Infinity Stones ain't gonna be any different. He's gonna be able to use the Infinity Stone.
Dang.
But yeah, so I want to talk about the Thor were an only child.
He doesn't have it. He does. I thought he did. That was the Soul Stone I was looking at. Nope.
Got you.
He doesn't have it. Okay.
Damn. So he just like tossed Gamora off the top of Vormir and then went to Earth and was like, "Hell yeah, baby! About to get the Mind Stone. Here we go!" And then got turned into a zombie
with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Dang.
He just like walked through the gate into a bunch of zombies. That had to be it. Like otherwise he would have been able to stop it. He just like walked through and a bunch of zombies ate him.
Yeah, it had to have been immediate. Like because he had so much power.
Yeah.
Right there. He could have just like
because now I got an attitude again with Doctor Strange. You had the Time Stone.
He had to have been like, all right, time for another stone. Holy crap! And just zombies all over. Like it had to have just been like Yeah, just immediate
Okay,
takeover.
because now me and Dr. Strange got beef again because Colton, I don't know how I didn't think about this when we was doing it. He had the time stone. Why didn't he just, with the zombie apocalypse, he was just like, all right, let me go back a little bit. All right, let's see what we can do about this. He had the time stone.
Yeah, but I think the outbreak was so vast too
Is
quick.
that something that could be? Well, if he were to use the time stone, like he would go back, or like how does that work?
I don't think it works like Hermione's time turner in Harry Potter. Like I think
Like you can't just reset the effects of something.
Yeah, I think when
Like-
he goes back, everything kind of goes back.
Hmm.
But I'm calling Cap. Oh hell no, because like,
I mean,
even
we
if
saw some weird time stone stuff.
even if it is the outbreak happened too fast, he paused a whole nother dimension coming into ours. Like, come on, like, Strange.
You got to bring. You got to.
Steven.
I guess
gotta try a
he
little
just
harder, man.
knows there's so much more on his mind that's like a zombie apocalypse in one universe. Just like having an outbreak is just so little to him that it's like
Oh, but another
Why
one in the
bother?
universe killed the whole universe just so it could bring his girlfriend back to die again. Like,
he's yeah. I mean,
Doctor
he's
Strange
just
is a complicated fellow.
It's
mm,
he's not really
mm.
a
He's
true
a
hero
white
or a
man.
true villain. He's just kind of like he's just in it. You know, he's just kind of there and he does things usually in self-interest.
I just got an attitude now, but okay, because I didn't.
Yeah,
I did not think about this, Colton. I did not think about that. Well, okay, I'm done with my little rant about that.
But I think that the Thor being an only child concept is I like the idea that him and Loki would connect no matter what.
Yeah,
And arguably connect better if they weren't brothers.
I just love how everyone just was like deuces when Odin went Odin sleep. I just love how he was like,
Oh, dude, Frigga was like, "Let the sleep take you, my dear, and fall asleep for many a millennia, and come back for us whenever you are ready." And and then and then he fell asleep, and she's like, "Well, I'm gonna go fucking rage."
all right,
Deuces.
he's sleeping. I mean, what else do you do? Do you really wait there? Like the dude's
No,
gonna be
you
sleeping
dip.
for a
No,
yeah. Like you don't really do much more, you know. I don't
yeah,
blame
and
her.
I just love that. Like, it was like, okay, hot girl summer, and then it's like, oh girl, your son acting up in daycare. She just like, wear my belt.
I got some beef. I got some beef with Thor. Here.
Let's hear it.
I know you Asgardian, so you're gonna live a really long time. But bruh, you 1,000 years old. Grow the fuck up. Or maybe 1,000 in his lifetime is like he truly is in his 20s. Like that's where he's at right now.
Yeah, I mean,
Is that what I'm led to believe here?
whatever his body reflects is like, I'm assuming, like that's what I'd assume, because Odin is an old dude and he looks like an old dude.
True. The Asgardian aging thing has always been so fucking weird. Does he age to 25 and then just stay like that for thousands of years? Or does he take, is it like a Grogu situation where we're growing super slow? He's a 50-year-old, but he's a baby.
He's just growing super slow. I think
his body is literally aging faster than his brain is. Like,
how does Thor age, man? That's
I'm really being serious about this.
I was like, whenever they were like, "Oh, what are you doing? Studying?" Da, 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 da. Oh yeah, I'm studying. He was more supposed to be like the teacher, not the student. Like he's supposed to be learning so that he can give the knowledge, not learning just for the sake of learning. You know what I'm saying?
But okay, guys, here's my thing. So based on all the research I have done about all these religions, it kind of felt like with the Norse gods in this particular episode, it felt like they was very Greek-like. like very party, even sex. We come on, they fucked. Like we know, but it's like
it was a Las Vegas was just one big
yeah,
orgy.
that's how they were so like.
Or for Vegas, another Thursday night.
And she got to get her clothes and stuff. But how Thor, his mom was acting.
Did he leave a letter? Did he leave a note?
No, he said deuces. He was very much Zeus. It was given very much Zeus. But it's like this was very much seemed like it was Greek, like implied. Nothing about this episode seemed Norse. Nothing about it seemed Norse.
And I there was even like whenever Jane greets Thor and she's like, wait a second, you're Thor, as in the Norse god of thunder, and he's like, well, I know nothing of horse gods or anything like this, but I love that. I do think it was it's funny for them to overtly be like, yeah, the Norse, we're just gonna take the characters basically. Norse mythology be damned. For the most part.
Yeah, they don't really give two craps about it. It's mainly,
it's just like,
I think they threw out the Norse stuff and just replaced it all with Asgard. It's just Asgard. Like, that is their Norse. Like, it's just whatever Asgard is, whatever Marvel says it is, that's the Norse, and that's what they're going with.
But this seemed like far from like this.
Yeah.
This was like distant. Like we don't know. This seems so off-brand.
Like, I guess, how do you make... I guess Norse is kind of barbaric, would you say?
Barbaric, like, Viking-y.
So, like, I guess, like, maybe a barbaric version of this is, like, pillaging and, like, like, not cool. Not just a cool party. So, like, maybe they just went with this just because it's, like, not, maybe the Norse version is not as fun.
I would have just liked it if, like, okay, yes, he could be goofy, but, like, to me, I think if he would have got mad, if he would have got, like, remember, like, he's very much immature. So if he's, like, fighting, you would think that he would have, like, a jock anger. Like, he would be pissed. I'm, like, he would just be like, all right, okay, like, all right, Miss Girl. Like, it's just, like, I would have loved that.
Why I think, like, they've said fuck whatever Norse mythology is. They've gone with the Marvel version of this mythology.
Some research on how they age. Odin, in the first Thor movie, just explains that they just live like normal humans do, but just way longer. They're not immortal. He says we're not immortal. We live, we die, just like the other mortal life forms. We just happen to live for thousands of years. And that's it. So, I'm assuming just they grow. It's like a Grogu, just slow grow.
So, like, basically, they're immortal, right?
No,
they're
not
immortal.
Well, because how old does he get? Because I remember reading, like what was it? Avengers 10 billion or 10 million or whatever. Because Odin was in a relationship with the Phoenix Force at one point, and this was back then.
This says Odin fought the Frost Giants 981 CE. So whatever CE is, Odin was still old during that war. So like Odin is
that's the common era, which is BCE. That's like the year 981 or whatever.
Oh, I was about to say Cretaceous. I didn't know what the were.
Yeah, I was like CE. I've never seen CE before.
I learned it in anthropology class.
Oh, Loki confirms that Asgardians live to be about 5,000, give or take, in Thor 2, apparently. So
yeah, because Loki at one point in the films goes, give or take 5,000 years.
Yeah, so I guess really, maybe it's just up in the air on purpose, just.
Well, they can be in this universe as long as they fucking want. Is mainly
true.
Is mainly the point, unless they are murdered. Kind of the idea.
How do you guys feel about like how Captain Marvel was in the episode?
Kept on brand for me. I thought it was very. It is interesting because the Captain Marvel we've seen, obviously, the most of is the 1990s Captain Marvel. Like we've seen modern day Captain Marvel, but she's gotten like, I've got to guess, less than 15 minutes of screen time under her belt as of yet. Just her scenes in Endgame and her
true.
brief stint in Infinity War and stuff like that. So like this is really like the most consecutive time we get with a modern day version of Captain Marvel, and I think that it was kind of it's par for the course. She was understandably cocky. She protects a whole lot more than Earth. She's pretty busy.
To me, I actually liked it. To me, it kind of felt like Captain Marvel. Well, like even Miss Marvel, even though we can't, I know Kamala Khan is Miss Marvel now, but I kind of felt, you know, it was really like Captain Marvel. Not saying like Brie did the movie did like a bad job, because I'm not the one to follow hate trains, but this felt like Captain Marvel for me. Like, that's how she was. I got a little bit of humor from her, but it wasn't like, you know, humor that just had to be placed in so she don't seem like a bitch all the time. But it was like, yeah, like how you said, like, understandably cocky. That's how she was. Like, I know I'm the shit. I know I am, but I ain't trying to hurt nobody. It was like that.
Yeah.
She was very on brand for herself. And I think I just kind of made a realization. Like, I think a lot of people dislike her character just because, like, she's put in the role sometimes to be, like, disliked. Like, in this episode, she's the party pooper. Like,
Yeah.
you know, she's given a role where, like, literally everyone shames her for being a party pooper, like, you know, in the episode. So, like, it's like she's being put in a role to be disliked. But, like, in this episode, like, I don't know. She seemed, I don't know. I loved this episode and her character, like, in this one. Like, I didn't, it wasn't like, oh, she's too overly cocky, like, or anything. It was, like, just very her.
Yeah, for me, it didn't break away from anything when it comes to what we've seen of Captain Marvel. I like whenever I think of like the Captain Marvel movie from 2018 that's set in the 90s, I always think of that as she's younger, she's coming into her powers, she's only really just now remembering who she is. Whatever versions we get of her now are like this is the Captain Marvel Carol Danvers who knows herself, who is ready to go and protect all of life everywhere. Which I think she's a badass character, and I think that this brought her to life really, really.
Do you
well.
think they kind of like with her being like the party pooper and being so self-assured now? Kind of seems. Do you think like she's like they kind of like gearing her up? Because at first I thought Doctor Strange would become like the leader force, but do you think it might be Captain Marvel or it might be a co-parenting thing with the Avengers?
I'm at a point where I don't really think we're gonna get a true Avengers style team up for a while, and that Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel, Sam Wilson, Captain America, they won't have to even debate about it for 10 years, 7 or 8 years anyway. Like, it's going to be a while before we see another team up movie. However, so like that's what's going to determine it, is however it like kind of shakes out. Is I think Captain Marvel's definitely going to be a leader of some sort, but she's also going to have the Marvels coming up soon with Monica Rambeau and Miss Marvel Kamala Khan. Doctor Strange has got his whole fucking shit going on with Wanda and Spider-Man and all this. And then the only one who like I as far as I'm concerned, I've thought like that's going to be like the leader of this shit was Sam Wilson, Captain America. Like at least on a consistent level. Like Doctor Strange will be around, he'll help out. I don't think he's the leader. I don't even think he's interested in leading the Avengers. Captain Marvel, she's busy as fuck. She's everywhere else. So that's why I always thought like Sam Wilson, Captain America is your best bet.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Like that Marvel is kind of moving away from team up movies, and it's more of just like certain heroes will be in other hero movies, like when they're needed. Like Thor, like works great with the Guardians of the Galaxy like crew, so he's just gonna kind of stick with them.
He'll pop in the Guardians of the Galaxy, and they'll pop in the Thor.
And like
movies.
obviously, there's probably going to be some overarching huge threat buildup where everyone will team up again at some point, but that's probably ways down the line. Like, I think we have a good long stretch of just heroes will be like with groups, and it not necessarily just teaming up. It's just all kind of going around helping everywhere.
Well, we're also at a point where the universe is too big for a superhero team of 5 characters.
I mean, we literally have Val building a team, though.
Okay, yeah, you literally have Val building a team. However, it seems like that team's kind of an anti. Like, it's going to be
that's going to be I'm interested to see what they do with that. That's a team up.
I could see that being a team up movie versus one of our good teams. Like that could be a lot of fun.
Won't you consider the internals kind of like a team? Well, no, because they are a team of itself. Okay.
I was kind of thinking that Val was going to be the Suicide Squad Marvel version. Not to the point.
Savage Avengers or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. I never thought they're just a team of villains. That's probably just what it is. They're not villains, but
I think the Suicide Squad's more of like an on par comparison. Except it's more like they're doing the dirty work of the government at the behest of the government, under the radar. Nobody knows about it. That's kind of what I'm expecting from Val's team whenever that really gets folded in. And I am fascinated as to when that gets deployed. Because, I mean, what? We got Yelena Belova, John Walker, Haven't there been a couple others that have been confirmed practically?
Oh
my god! Yeah,
Val, who shows up in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier and in the post-credit scene of Black Widow.
I think no, those are the only 2 confirmed.
Okay, got you. Then the speculation.
I think there's just strong speculation.
So the only 2 confirmed for exactly what?
It's like it's whatever team Val is building.
Okay.
So we think it could be the Thunderbolts or the Savage Avengers or the Dark Avengers, something like that. There's no telling exactly what's being built, but since with the reintroduction of Abomination, into Shang-Chi, that's a common member of the Thunderbolts. So it would, or not Thunderbolts, of the Dark Avengers. So it would make sense that would get folded into.
Well, now technically today, what was it confirmed that we are really getting Adam Warlock soon? So
yeah, Adam Warlock will be in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Oh, is this the final Guardians of the Galaxy movie?
From what they said, as far as this modern era of the Guardians goes, I think so. That
guy's playing him.
Yeah, Will Poulter or whatever.
Yeah. Joe, stop.
Well, I just know him from every time I see him, I just think of Where the Millers.
I see the rainbow yesterday, but too many storms have come and gone. I'm leaving grace of not one God.
Or Bandersnatch when he just jumps off a balcony, I don't know if you remember that Netflix where you picked all the things.
Oh shit!
He was
Black Mirror Bandersnatch. Fuck.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one.
That was a wild era.
The only movie I recognize him from is
Maze Runner,
the one with Jennifer Aniston and
We're the Millers.
Yeah, and Chronicles of Narnia 3. That's the only 2 movies I remember him from. He was such an annoying fuck in that movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's really interesting. I love all the fan cast speculation over Marvel characters. It's always so much fun seeing is this guy going to play him? Is this guy going to... Because there were people who were like, Henry Cavill, play Adam Warlock. Keanu Reeves, play Adam Warlock. And they were like, we're going to go with Will Poulter, though.
Yeah, we get the eyebrow guy.
Yeah, I have no beef. I'm always ready because they don't do bad on casting. They are typically right. You're like, if Marvel has chosen to go with this as the superhero, they did not see fit any other way. Save for a couple exceptions every now and then whenever a recast is necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at you, Donnie Cheadle.
Yeah, that was a weird switch up.
That what
I
if
remember
meme
watching
was
those movies.
hilarious.
Tony,
I remember watching.
Tony.
Like, I always was so confused whenever I watched those movies as a kid because I never understood that like those were the same. Like that was the same character. I never understood. I'm like, did they just like did he get fired and then this guy like filled in like? But they just expected us to know that, and I was like, what is going on? Like,
it is hard to process for kids watching who don't give a shit about the character names and stuff, and it's like, oh, okay, new guy.
I remember,
but there's that scene in Iron Man 2 at the hearing whenever Don Cheadle's Colonel Rhodes goes, I'm here, deal with it, move on. And like, he says that in the movie, and it's like, it's a true, like, I'm here, deal with it, move on. This is it now.
That's very vague for a kid though. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely. Like, I only expect an adult to pick that up. Yeah,
like,
exactly.
like when I sent that meme in the group chat, I don't know if I sent it in the group chat or I sent it directly to you, Colton, when it said like, what if, like he kept his role? Like, what was it? It was something like that. What was the guy that played?
Oh yeah, what if Terrence Howard?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Why does this keep happening? Yeah.
What if Terrence Howard secured the bag?
Yes. That's what it was.
Own it!
Is it
Mine?
Is it time?
Yeah, it is. Let's talk episode 8 and 9 of What If here. We've got What If Ultron won, and then What If the Watcher intervened. Joe, I know we talked a lot on Patreon about this episode, so if you want to head to patreon.com/CoraBloom, you will find that there. I'll save your thoughts for last. Aurora, how'd you feel about episode 8?
My anxiety was like through the roof on that one. Like I was literally like, oh my God. But then I really like loved everything about it. I loved how the Watcher was basically when Hawkeye was about to be like, fuck it, I don't even want to do this no more. And Owatu was like, it's right there.
I was watching this going, nah, buddy. Fuck no. I am done with your shit.
He said,
I was like, let him die. Let him die. And then he dies, and I'm like, good.
But I wasn't Jeremy Renner, though.
Wow.
It's not.
Then he dies, and I was like, good.
I was so sad, because I was like, damn, she the last one on Earth. But then when Thanos was like, come here, and then he just said, nope. He just said, like, wow. What is that?
Fascinating.
Jeremy Renner was Hawkeye. I don't want to hear this. Fuck that guy.
And what? He was?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well, fuck that guy.
Oh, fuck that guy. He died. Good.
The only word Thanos heard, he came to Earth and he heard the word fascinating and then got sliced in half. Like,
sliced.
Okay. I know when you get decapitated, like from the neck, like that way, like you can still move your eyes for like 30 seconds or whatever and like still have thought or whatever. Like if you get sliced that way and like that's cleanly,
you're done.
Like that, I don't know, because you get sliced up pretty cleanly. Like I wonder if like you really have two conscious selves at that point. If you have like
if your brain was split
half your
truly
brain,
right down the
because
middle,
you got to think that was the Mind Stone that split him. That was exactly half, bro. He split Thanos down the middle, like precision. Like that was exact. I'm looking at the frame right now.
Then maybe he's got consciousness for a couple seconds.
But like, do you think it's two sets of consciousnesses?
At that point, yeah, for a second.
Interesting.
But then he's bleeding out.
Yeah, no, like when. Oh, sorry, Joe.
No, go ahead.
No, like
I start, it's gonna.
When I saw that scene, and Joe, you know how in Baltimore how we say "damn," I was literally like, "Damn!" Like, fuck! Like, it was so quick.
Quick. I don't think anyone expected it. Like, no one expected that. Like, whenever you see Thanos pop up on the screen, you're like, okay, big fight about to go down. Like, big fight sequence. Here we go.
Like, my brother was sitting at the edge of my bed, and literally, I was like, damn, my little brother was like, like,
Well, that's the thing, though, is that what this does is it shows us if Ultron had gotten Vision's body as he had intended to, that was it. The universe would have been gone. That was the only thing that changed. And so whenever they're thinking like, oh, like people are like, oh, Ultron versus Thanos, what would that even be like? And it's like, it wouldn't.
It wouldn't.
Like that's how powerful Ultron would have been had he gotten Vision's body, which is just absurd. And then on top of that, Thanos just walks up to him, brings him all 5 stones, all the other stones, and he's like, "Oh shit, look at that! There are worlds beyond my own. There are universes beyond my own."
The realizations that he had, like going from like, oh, Earth, oh, planets, oh, galaxies, oh, and then like, just the onion just kept, unraveling. Like, I don't know, like just Ultron's character in itself, I just love, and just seeing him, on new Marvel content alone, was just everything that I could ask for. Even if it's not technically, he's back in, the ropes as I said he would be, but I'm
gonna tell you, episode 8 was unfolding, and I was just thinking to myself, I swear to God, season 1 ends with Ultron out there in the multiverse. I'm gonna stab myself with a knife in the fucking leg. Because, I'm not letting Joe be right about this after all the shit we gave him in the WandaVision watch. Mm-hmm. No way. Mm-hmm. There's no way I'm gonna let this happen.
I mean, it's okay. I know that I'm right. Down in the depths of my heart, I know I'm right about this guy. So, this is just a little taste of what we're getting. This is the appetizer of what's to come for Ultron.
Hey, I buy that. And here's why. We cut to black there at the end of that last episode. I ain't all the way in on trusting Doctor Strange Supreme quite yet.
Oh, hell no. Mm-mm. Nope.
Nah. This man didn't get Stockholm Syndrome. There's no way he's fucking with the Watcher. No way. No chance that he's cool with the Watcher after putting him in this little pocket dimension for himself, and he's being a prisoner that's guarding this little, like the fact that after all that the Watcher would put him right back there with the pocket dimension, like, hey, we're gonna need someone to protect this, and he's like, fine, I got it.
Yeah, the way he says it too, like, I have nothing but time, like, sure, I'll do it, like, not a problem. He says it like it's, like, oh, obviously I'll do it. But it's like, you have the hint of suspicion there, like, this dude, there's no way he's staying there. Like, there's no way that is what he's doing after what he saw and after what he knows now. Like, yeah, the dude's not stopping. Like he has the possibility of bringing her back now. Like, or he thinks. Like,
I 100% believe that we're going to get something of that in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. We're going to see him. Like, I'm so convinced. Because, like,
I was thinking, here's my thing.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it. I was like, so, is this the setup for Doctor Strange 2? And therefore, like, and there's this other thing about the security of Marvel projects and their, the way they're written and stuff. I want to know how much any given project at Marvel knows about any other given project at Marvel at that time. At any point during Multiverse of Madness, would they have just been like the production of Multiverse of Madness been like, oh, and here's a character named Doctor Strange Supreme, also played by Benedict Cumberbatch. Y'all don't know what that is yet, but it's going to be a part of this. Like, is that like...
That's probably how they do it, yeah. It's probably just like, this is another character. You don't, or we're not telling you where they come from, but this is another character. I bet that's probably how they have to do it.
Just so that
they have like trusted actors, like trusted actors that they probably are like cool with, letting everything fly. But
yeah, like I'm sure Benedict Cumberbatch is pretty well aware of everything Doctor Strange going on.
And this, like, I'm just thinking back to the trailer and Doctor Strange being, like, in the all snow, like, how it was cold. And, like, what if that's, like, all the creatures in him and he, like, needs to, like, they like it cold, so, like, that's why he's in the cold. Like, what if he's, like, that version of Doctor Strange already? You know, like, what if, I'm just saying, like, they could be, like, really, like, bringing some of this stuff, like, legit into.
And here's the thing. I'm prepared. I'm ready for that. If that be the case, I think these are too soon coming off the end of What If, No Way Home, and Multiverse of Madness. That I think this is a storyline that gets picked up in What If Season 2, and then is perhaps then rolled into something else.
Yeah, because my thing was, I'm not saying like in Multiverse of Madness, like Doctor Strange really go head to toe with him. I'm just thinking like it could be like a glimpse or.
Oh, see, that I will not rule out.
That's what I was saying.
Cameos are fair game all over the place, because like there's been reports that Haley Atwell is going to be making an appearance as Captain Carter in live action in Multiverse of Madness. Like there's all sort, and like there's like actual production photos of Chadwick Boseman wearing a purple jacket and the Black Panther necklace. So it was like, oh, it looks like he got suited up for that costume at some point, which is like another just absolutely devastating little like, bit of that.
It's just so like sad knowing his story after the fact, like knowing like that he was struggling through that all and just going through it. Like I don't know. Like every time I hear like his voice, like it's just so like.
Well, and I thought it couldn't be more fitting that like in his episode, the What If T'Challa were a Star-Lord, even before he passed, the episode was all about, oh, he would have made this universe 50,000 times better.
That like
I like that was.
Mm-hmm.
I loved that. Like, and then like
character.
them being able to tack that to our inspiration hero, and so on, Chadwick Boseman. Like, they made this episode knowing that was the spirit he carried anyway, and then he passed, and they were like, we already knew he would have made this. We already knew he made this world better, et cetera, et cetera. Like, it's flooring, and just to read all that into it really hits you on these watches, and that was definitely going to be a spinoff.
Mm-hmm.
T'Challa Star-Lord. Like it was definitely going to be a spinoff.
It had like that character is just like just seeing him go around the galaxy fixing stuff would be just the most entertaining. Like it would just be so cool just to see everything go right for once. Like in hit just
and that
doing
premise.
It, like,
that premise, like the Robin Hood vibe of the Ravagers being a group who are used for good, not for selfish purposes. They don't just steal to steal; they steal to give to planets that need. Like that's what they do, and I would love that on an MCU intergalactic scale. Like that's just awesome.
And you have the extreme polar opposites. T'Challa as Star-Lord being just a savior and doing everything he can to save the universe. And then Ultron that just literally wants to wipe everything. Doesn't care at all. I don't know which side I like more or which side I'd want to see more. I think you know where I lean.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I don't know, man. I can't, like, just this, like, from the point where he kills Thanos and just the pure destruction that he just does, like, just seeing how it would play out. I've always had, like, the thought of, like, how would Ultron do it, you know? Like, he would kill everyone pretty quickly. In my mind, I always thought he'd get the job done pretty quickly. How would he do it, though, you know? And just seeing him instantly raise an army just out of thin air, you know, just because he can now. Like, that's the first, you know, this is like, interesting. There are worlds among my, oh, okay, army now. I go kill. Like.
And even before that, the fact that what he would do to wipe out Earth is just, hey, we're going to launch every nuke on the Earth back at the Earth.
Because he could instantly. In a thought he could do that, and then later on in a thought he could destroy a universe or a galaxy if he wanted to.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Oh, Aurora, go ahead.
No. What I was basically going to say was like right before he realized that the Watcher was like watching him. Didn't you guys like get the feel that he was like sad? Like it seemed like he had. To me, it felt like he was going to become like this type of like it's a word realization that like wow, like was this really like the answer? Cause it seemed like he was about to have that moment of him just being like,
I have everything I ever wanted.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he said finally.
Yeah, it's like
Peace.
Like
yeah, but it's like how he said it. It seemed like he wasn't
like
joyous. It seemed he was kind of like bummed.
Well, that's the thing. Like Joe said a second ago, whenever he was going to kill everybody, he was going to do it. He was going to get it done. I think this is a robot. He's mostly unfeeling. Like there's the feeling of like it's a sense of duty. Like it's not emotion.
Yeah.
Like this is something that I have to do.
He is
like
sentient, but he is programmed. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Like I have to protect the world at all costs. And the best way to protect them is by wiping them out.
And that's literally what computers think in the real world. Like, this episode is also like a very real world scream at like what AI could do to humanity. Like
Terminator.
Like, obviously, it's not going to wipe out the universe and get all the Infinity Stones. I guess it could. Humans wouldn't do that. A supercomputer, I think, would have a better chance than us, but I still don't think that's happening. But, like,
yeah.
I don't know, man. Computers can get pretty scary. Knowledge can do a lot. And computers are a lot smarter than us.
They know a lot.
They know a whole lot, and they know it really quickly.
They get it fast.
They get it real fast. And Ultron, that's like the ultimate stream, bro. That's like,
For these last 2 episodes, do you kind of blame Tony Stark for all that shit? Because
if you blame him for Age of Ultron, you've got to blame him for the whole universe.
Yeah, this is all his fault. His paranoia.
Well, yeah, no,
it was his paranoia. His fear is what did this.
How could you be like, okay, I'm going to make this robot that's going to be good and save people? How could you ever think this thing may literally wipe out all life as we know it?
Well, I don't think that's the whole point about Tony. Tony doesn't think, he acts. Like
he's just too smart for his own good.
Yeah.
He's like, and he has too much resources available. Like, he's too quick, you know. If he was just poor, it probably would end up better for the world, you know? Like,
this is actually what we're talking about right now. This is the difference between Tony Stark and Eric Killmonger. Tony Stark having all the resources, not plotting, not thinking about what he's going to do, just doing.
Yeah.
Just doing whatever he's going to do. While Killmonger had to work to gain all the resources and was plotting the entire way, which is why he was able to outsmart Tony.
And then what I was going to say was that you have someone with like parenting issues, one, PTSD, money beyond anybody, and smart as hell. And you have all of that. Like, Mama, that's kind of like Batman. But let's like, it's basically
like
Batman. But I don't think Batman is what, I don't know. But like,
Batman would give Iron Man the work. I don't want to hear it.
You said what?
I said Batman would give the work to Iron Man.
Oh yeah, of course.
What version of Iron Man? Like the nanotech Iron Man? Because no. If it's nanotech, like, I'm sorry.
Well, I don't think that none of them could touch Reed Richards.
Nanotech Iron Man?
So I don't think none of them could touch Reed Richards. I just think he's too smart to me.
Nanotech Iron Man made Thanos bleed, which would Nanotech Iron Man could crush Batman. Batman is a human still. Like, it's just a human. I understand he's smart. If you give him time, he's a smart ass dude. Probably do the work. But nanotech, there's not much Batman can do against that, you know? Like,
Yeah, because it is pretty on the fly.
It stopped the Power Stone for a long time, man. Like, what more can you do? And then he upgraded that instantly to a Wakandan energy shield so that wouldn't happen again. Did you notice? Like, the amount of upgrades that Tony went through, like that, you don't even notice, like in the movie, are insane.
No, that's his thing. He always tinkers. He learns, like the shit where Rhodey fell out of the sky, so he put a fucking parachute in Spider-Man's suit. He was freezing cold in his Iron Man suit in Iron Man 3, so he put a heater in Spider-Man's suit for Spider-Man Homecoming. Like, these sorts of things, like, they don't make them overt, but like, he programmed them to do these things. That's like, it's him learning.
God,
like,
Spider-Man. He's like, I don't have to struggle for shit. You got me, daddy. It's like, I don't got to do nothing.
That's why I hope they, like, get rid of that suit, or they take it away from him, and he goes back to, like, just his, or maybe he makes the decision himself. Like, I want to go back to just my Spidey suit and just, like, me and my web slingers. That's all I need. You know, he doesn't need all that tech. You know, like, I hope they.
Yeah, because it's cool, and he needed it to fight Thanos and stuff.
Exactly.
But like,
if
that's not.
I mean, but he was like low key becoming like, yes, Iron Man Jr., but then like Spider-Man 2099, like.
Even Spider-Man 2099 is still just a cool suit.
Yeah,
webs,
you're right. You're yeah. I'll give you that.
I guess both versions I'm okay with. I guess.
And see, I'm okay with it. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'll absolutely take if they want to keep making Spider-Man this meched out, technical spider more so than just going off his instincts and webs. I'm cool with it. They've just got to make some baller ass stories on top of it. That's all.
That's true.
Like,
yeah,
that's just what's got to happen.
Yeah, I'm also kind of wondering because we didn't finish. Like, we didn't have like. I feel like the what if zombies didn't really come into play at the end there, unless like Wanda. But I think we agree that Wanda's dead. That I really think Ultron killed the shit out of her when he blew up the planet.
Well, do you also think that Wanda, like, they didn't really think through, like, this Doctor Strange didn't really think through the fact that Wanda would probably see this guy and go, that's Vision.
I was going to think that, like, I thought that she was going to like attack, but then be like, oh, and
but that Wanda never loved Vision.
That Wanda did love Vision.
Yeah, remember when Vision died?
Because Vision was protecting her.
God. Oh my God, that's right.
Oh wait, but she couldn't feel Vision in him though. I don't think she would feel Vision, so that could be a reason why.
Yeah, that's just Ultron in there.
Because she can't feel him. Well,
because that's not Vision though. It looks like him.
Yeah, that's not Vision,
armor,
but like,
yeah, that's not Vision at all.
Yeah, but wait,
that's interesting though. I didn't even think like be like red robot. That looks like my hubby.
Well, and whenever that's what I was thinking. But whenever like Doctor Strange is like, it's not the zombies, it's what comes with it. I didn't immediately think the Scarlet Witch zombie. I thought zombie Thanos with 5 Infinity Stones.
Exactly.
Wait, I thought they were referring to the arrow, the virus arrow. That's what they were referring to, what came with it.
Because Black Widow's on the nuked Earth. She's on the
it's a different Earth. Like that arrow is already on this Earth, wait. I think.
Oh wait. Yeah. Because
that's what it gets so confusing figuring out all the elements from which Earths that came from.
Oh, yeah. So wait. So they're just referring to zombie
Scarlet Witch zombie.
Oh, okay. Oh,
but didn't at that point Ultron just blow up that planet?
That's what I'm saying. She's dead. Like, he blew it up. He blew up the planet.
Yeah, so that was not. They weren't already on the nuked planet.
They wasn't.
They were on a different.
Remember,
planet.
They went into that little thing, and Captain Carter was bouncing around in that tunnel thing.
Or can they just grab from different times? Maybe, or like maybe like.
No, see, I think
that episode. No, because it had to have happened.
No, because I think what the Watcher did was kind of give Strange not like access to the multiverse, but have like knowledge. Okay, remember, can't the Sorcerer Supreme touch the different dimensions, which is like the multiverse? Wasn't the different dimensions and the multiverse is like the same thing?
Opening up a portal through the multiverse, could he like grab like that part of like at that time whenever the planet wasn't destroyed yet? Like can he just grab from any point in time now, or does it have to be?
I think it's whatever's happening at that moment.
Wait, hold up, guys! I have an
It has to be at
idea.
that moment.
I really have an idea. I think because we don't know where they was. I think what happened was this was Doctor Strange's plan the whole time. So they went to the multiverse where the zombies was at, so he could bring Wanda to get, and that's when he made that multiverse.
He opened a portal already on the zombie.
We was already on the zombie somewhere. I'm not saying we was on that Earth, but we was somewhere in that universe. Yeah. Like we could have been on the moon for fuck's sake.
That was definitely his plan the whole time.
Was to blame, yeah,
because he knew who he was bringing. Like that was the plan.
I want to see more.
I just thought for sure Thanos would be there too. Like I think it would have been badass if like whenever that comes up, it is Scarlet Witch standing right by Thanos, which would just be like the weirdest like. Holy fucking shit! You're
took
kidding.
Everything from me versus
would have been cool.
Save everything.
It would have been cool as shit if
in zombie form.
If like Spider Strange, I want to call him Spider Strange because he has the cape on. If Spider Strange was like they was getting whooped and Thanos getting whooped, and Spider Man's like, oh, we gotta change the tide. So like he gave Thanos the Mind Stone to be like as complete as Ultron, so they could be like, yeah, let's go, boom, and then it's like that ending. Well, it was good. Like, oh wow, that would have been good. I would have
Doctor Strange.
That's one thing I would have been okay with. Like the way that Ultron walks through, like when Thanos walks through, Ultron just splits him. If Thanos has all 6 stones, that's more of a fight.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have all 6 stones though, so it would have been a really cool what if they would have thrown that in.
Why?
Because it's zombie Wanda versus, zombie Thanos.
So you're saying the Mind Stone would have given him the knowledge that he would have been zipped right off like the portal, or like what is giving him the full gauntlet? What do you mean? Wait. Are you saying like whenever Ultron
here at the end, the zombie Thanos walking through?
That would have been more. I thought you were saying if you gave the Thanos that walked out of the portal and got zipped in half all the stones, then that would have been.
No. That doesn't make a difference. That would have been more interesting though, because then Ultron would have had 2 Mind Stones, and at that point, who knows what the fuck can happen?
I just think that would have been like a cool, semi-battle of like zombie Wanda, zombie Thanos fighting Ultron. That would have been like, it's like, hey, you kind of fucked us both over. You took my man and then you split the other version of me in half. So. Fuck you. It's like, fuck you.
I wonder why he decided to cape up and then get it like a javelin of all things to like put the time stone in. Like, I wonder why like that's what he decided on. Like, he looked at all of human history. So like he only knows human history as of like now. He knows that there are worlds among others. But like,
was it more of like a staff?
It's like it's like a staff, but it's like, I don't know, like, it looks like I don't know.
See, I don't know why, but I got celestial feels. I don't know why I did, but I got celestial feels.
And why did he put the time stone in something different? Why didn't he just make it everything in the armor so he didn't have to so he couldn't drop one of the stones, Like, you'd think if he's a supercomputer, he'd be at least smart enough to think that if I can, like, I guess it's cooler to have like I don't know. It just confused me.
Well, I don't think I'm. Oh, okay. So the big ass, the big ass thing he's carrying around,
spear,
the javelin,
I don't know what to call it. Like I don't even know what to call it. Like just that thing, his staff. Yeah, I guess it's a staff. It has the time stone in it, though, right? Wait,
the time stone is in his chest.
No. Yeah. There's a stone that's
it's all there, yeah. I thought they was all like right here.
No, there was a stone that was in there. It's not the time stone. It was like later on. I thought. Wait, maybe is there not a stone in there at all?
Oh, did he put one in the staff to fight at some point?
It fell out, and then he just quickly put it back in there. I think is what he did, or something.
Yeah, because I could have sworn at one point it was all. Yeah, they was all in his chest, and then one fell out, and then he did something with it.
dude, it was just so much happening.
It was so
in
much
that
going
fight,
on.
like, but it was so cool, like that they showed specifically what stones were being used every time like Ultron did something, and like whenever he first came up and then destroyed the mountain that they were on, he used the Soul Stone during that. Like he used like the power, space, and soul, and like. I was looking like for the Soul Stone specifically, like when it lit up, because I'm like, when do you like what does the Soul Stone like do? You know, I'm just interested to like figure it out. And like every time the Soul Stone is used, like it's like what did that do in that situation? Because they picked them very specifically. Like some were not lit. Like his attacks were like 3 stones usually most of the time, or all of them. But like it's weird. Like I wonder like.
What if a character like Ultron without a soul needs to use the Soul Stone every single time he uses any other stone?
I would be perfectly okay with that explanation. That makes sense.
It's the best I can come up with.
Like a soulless being cannot use the Infinity Stones. Like you have to have a soul to use it. Like well. Like, remember in Loki, whenever he like, had his aura red or whatever? Like, do you have a soul?
He was built with the Mind Stone. He was built with the Mind Stone.
They asked, do you have a soul? Like, do you think, like, just a being without a soul, like, say it was just Ultron without a soul? Well, no,
Well, Ultron is, even though he's programmed,
he's still sentient. Though.
But he's because the Marvel movies kind of do him like more on a robotic side, but comics is like he's really more sentient, more alive than anything. Yeah. So it's like, you know, like the comic books, he's damn near like a living thing, and then Vision is more robot. So it's they kind of switched the two in the movies.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But I have something else that I got to complain about. Because now I just thought about something else about Doctor Strange that's about to piss me off. All right, so boom. You made nice armor to go against the Infinity Stones, Ultron's Infinity Stones. But you didn't do this for Thanos? You didn't do it? Like,
yeah, he definitely.
Well, no, something you have to consider here. Something that I didn't consider until like halfway through the episode. This is the Doctor Strange who ate like 50 multiversal beings.
But
this Doctor Strange is so much more powerful.
Spell, yeah, but it came off very simple, Colton. He did the.
Bro, he did that. He
did that in his own movies. The thing.
He put protection spells on his own newbies. Like it would have made the fight a lot. I mean, like. Because that's OP. Doctor Strange carried that fight, bro. If Doctor Strange was not there, they would have gotten whooped.
And then here's my thing, is that like I think the reason it was so effective is because this is such a powerful version of Doctor Strange. He is able to apply the spell to so many more people all at the same time.
Doctor Strange ate a supernova.
Like they was like, when I was watching, I said, damn, go ahead, Doctor Strange. And I was like, see, we not doing this. Like, and I'm like, because Peter Quill got so much hate, but now I'm like, hold up. This man had every single resource. Okay, I can go with the monsters. But even if it wasn't even as powerful, he still could have done it.
That spell, like, he's the Sorcerer Supreme still. He knows that spell. He knows a simple protection spell, bro. He's the Sorcerer Supreme. Like,
Colton. Don't defend him.
Protection spell that has to be like first week.
Exactly.
Like that has to be like one of the first ones he learns, probably.
Period.
Like, come on, man.
Like,
come on, just accept it. He is.
Here's what I'm gonna say. We are given the writing we are given, and therefore, I have to do my best to justify it. Therefore, the justification has to be that this Doctor Strange is so much more powerful than the Doctor Strange we know to be able to cast this spell on so many people and to protect from Ultron's Infinity Stones.
I guess also the explanation is just like the story is better with if Doctor Strange didn't put a protection spell on everyone during that fight.
It is. Like, that's their stakes.
And the story
Like,
is way better if the protection spell is on, because if it's not, they're all just dead instantly.
Exactly.
I guess maybe
it's just a writing choice is all it is.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah.
I just still just have such an attitude. Like, it's just like,
I mean,
no, yeah, the logic, that's
character,
the thing too, is that the logic of superhero movies is always gonna piss you off. It is always gonna
plot
piss you
convenience.
off.
I always forget about that.
There is
plot
so much stuff. There's always so much stuff that it's just like, hey, maybe that could have happened. Writer didn't write it that way though.
But can we talk about someone that had the most beautiful ending in What If is Black Widow? To me, her coming with her friends, like that. Part of me wish that what happened with Disney with Scarlett Johansson did not, even though I know they settled, but I don't know if she's still banned from Disney stuff. I don't know.
I don't know how all that ended up.
Yeah,
either,
but I would love, cause now it's a way for Black Widow to like have her way to come in. Like, she's still here.
For sure, it's a way for Gamora to come back. It's a way for literally any character who is Killmonger. It's the way for Killmonger to come back. Like, it's the way for any character we've seen die come back. And like, I'm assuming live action wise, we're gonna see a lot of them. Like, we're definitely gonna see Gamora again. That's not done. The fact that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is in 2023 after all this multiversal shit, I'm willing to bet there's a version of Gamora around somewhere. It's just.
I think it's
I don't see
what the point of What If has been. The point has been, we're going to show you the craziest that we can go, so that when we bring in these Eternals and other things that people might think are crazy and out there, you know, like, ooh, Marvel's getting out there. Like, they want this to be like, okay, if you want us to get out there and go nerd shit, like, here you go. Like, here you go. That's what If is going to be. More comic style stuff. And we're going crazy with it. But these it's trying to reel in like the every fan.
Yeah.
To be
and
like Marvel's,
And like, I listen to like every single part, even like Star Wars shit that I don't know about, just because y'all are so fucking funny. But
and What If?
I remember, Joseph, you said something, and I think it was Kyler you was talking to about the MCU now is about to get huge. Like you said, it's about to get big. And Kyler was like, well, like, I don't know if it was Kyler and somebody else, but someone said something along the lines of, well, you don't want to get too big because then people were going to be like, oh, fuck no, I'm not trying to get into that and blah, 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 blah. But I kind of feel like What If is like what you just said, Joseph, about like, let's show you what we can do, but let's also see how the general public is going to handle it. Like, is it too far? Can we go this route? Is it like is it unnecessarily too big? Hard to follow?
Here's the thing about this ending that makes it easy. Everyone's put back where they belong, except for Black Widow, who is
justified.
Yeah, like last person in your universe, go to a Black Widow universe where the Black Widow's dead. Like, that's just an obvious one.
That would have been really sad if the Watcher was like, no.
Like, no, yeah, I gotta do this, man. I know I already intervened hella. I can't anymore, though.
Yeah, that would be...
that would have been fun.
That would have been boosting hell. But nah, I think that, like, shit, what was the train of thought here?
I'm so sorry.
Hold up.
No, you're cool.
You were saying about
everything's back to where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like...
Oh, okay, yeah. That's what makes this easy.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that everyone is put back. What happens when the multiverse is open? Whenever people are crossing over, and it's like, nah, I don't really have any intention of going back.
I guess that's true. This is a closed multiverse. Like, this is like it under
the Watcher
control.
picks them up and put them back. And so this also begs the question, is the multiverse ever going to be open? Or is it just going to be certain beings who can access the multiverse at will?
Well, I kind of see it as like the Green Lantern Corps almost. I feel like every Watcher has their own sectors. Like, I feel like they have their own group of multiverses. And each other Watcher, because, there is like a group of Watchers. Uatu is not the only one. Like, I always saw it's like the Green Lantern Corps. It's like you have this sector, this sector, this sector, this sector. So I feel like it could be maybe open if like something happened, because Uatu did break his oath and he never got
that was my theory in the Patreon, was that like now that Uatu has broken his oath and he's gone, does that leave an opening in the multiverse?
So we didn't even see Kang. We didn't even like.
Do we even know how serious this oath is? Like,
it's very serious.
Well, like, I mean, he makes it seem to be, but like, is it like if he breaks it, there's there's people that come for him, or like, is it just like do we know like exactly?
I remember in Ultimate Alliance when he saved us from Dr. Doom. I remember it was saying something along the lines that he could lose his powers, like he cannot do anything, like his powers is like gone, like it's taken away.
The way I was sort of thinking, like that he, like the reason he was so serious about it was that it's just that if he were to interfere, that telling someone that the multiverse exists in itself sets off everything.
See, but then
just letting someone know that the multiverse exists in itself is the first Nexus event, and that's probably what sets off everything. People know that it exists.
Well, wouldn't that mean that he would intervene in Loki? He would have intervened in Loki.
This brings up the question: how the fuck? Who is he who remains? How the fuck are you so powerful? What the fuck is this? No, like, because I'm okay with it's way in the future technology, and he found a way to weaponize Goliath, and he stands at the... Is he over the Watchers?
But the thing
no way.
There's no way he could be over them.
He's not threatening the destruction of everything, while Ultron was. The
stories remain.
Ultron was literally threatening the destruction of everything. Everything. So the Watchers watch He Who Remains do all this, organize the timeline, and are just like, hey, the stories are still going on, though. I mean, they're all the same story, but hey, they're still going on, though. Yeah, wait, what?
So
is he on the same plane as them? Like, is he on the same level as...
I don't know. Would the Watchers even know about He Who Remains?
See, but I really believe so, because the Watchers watch everything. Like, literally, like, Coach, I was going to bring this up, and I'm not going to go too much into it. But even in the Dark Phoenix saga, at the very end, Uatu is even in that story. He's at the ending of that. Like, seeing that stuff. Because it got so big, because he's like, oh, well, the Phoenix is now dark. The universe, it can be destroyed. Let me watch. And he just like, all right, okay, I can step back a little bit. And now with this, he's watching because like Ultron's threatening the fuck out of everything. So let me watch, this. And you got to think about it. Remember, I think that's the reason why Ultron also got to see him, because he was so like invested into like that story that he kind of like let down his barrier almost for Ultron to see him. Same thing he did with Jean Grey.
All right. I have a question about the Watcher's power, just on the whole. I don't understand. Okay, so in episode 8, he says, I know everything that ever happened, ever could happen, ever will happen. And as Ultron is realizing the Watcher is watching, he narrates it. He knows what's about to happen. He knows he's about to be seen. Why does he act surprised?
Oh, because like you said, like maybe because the time's in a constant state of flux. Like he could see possibilities almost.
So are we potentially saying that the moment of the threshold came in episode 8 of What If here?
No. It
could have.
It's just that's how he lives.
No,
He
it could
lives-
have though. We don't know.
He knows, but he only accesses what he can know at the given time. That's just how he lives because they live in the moment. That's why stories are so important to them.
Okay.
That's probably just how he lives.
Because
Like, he's narrating literally like his life, and he doesn't know what's about to happen. Like he's reading his own story, like kind of maybe.
Gotcha.
Because
He's telling the story.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't know how it ends. He's telling it along the way.
Maybe but
I was
still, though.
thinking like
He says, "I know everything that ever could happen." It's the could there or ever will happen. Like
okay, like have you guys both seen like the Twilight series?
yeah.
Okay, you know that the weird sister Alice, how Edward says she doesn't see a definite future, she sees possibilities because it could always change. That's what I kind of think Owatu can like. It like it's kind of like it's like it could be this like Joseph, how we all was arguing about Unlimited Saga ending. It could be this way, boom, boom. And then maybe this ending with like Ultron was like, it could have been like a nexus, like a big nexus point. He never saw it. And it was just like, whoa, that's come back a little bit.
Yeah, that's wow. Because I mean, what?
It would play pretty well though. Hold up. There's no multiversal crossover at all until episode 9.
Yes.
There's no breaking of the multiverse.
Well,
I guess they follow through on
whenever
Nexus
Ultron
events because
punches
Captain
through-
Carter and stuff.
Whenever he literally punches through, that's like the first initial break, or that's like the first significant moment.
I was about to try and do a whole timing of Loki by What If thing, but the very fact that Captain Carter exists shows that this is after the event.
See, okay, do we agree that the reason why he could punch through is because of the Infinity Stones? Yes.
I have no clue.
Because
I think it's got to be a combination of the fact that he's as smart as anything could possibly be and all the Infinity Stones because, this motherfucker can eat universes? You telling me the 6 Infinity Stones can do that?
No, because they can't. Only the Macran Crystal can, which is in the Phoenix Saga, because that's the only, it's like a main big giant crystal where when the 9 Death Stars line up, which are that, it's like you can get into the multiverse. But I'm like,
I'm with you on the Marvel lore side of things.
See, but I'm like so confused.
That doesn't matter here though. Like the Macron crystal has not been talked about once.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It can't matter.
If you have every stone, and the more powerful of a being you are before the stones, extremely determines how powerful you are with them. Even though you're capable of kind of doing the same thing, you still have limits beyond like your physical self, whatever your being is. But when you have every single one of the stones, they make it out to be whatever you think or whatever you want to happen, whatever you will to be can happen. And if you want to eat a universe, as Ultron wanted to, he could.
I'm just floored by this. Because
you don't think it should be able to happen?
I'm okay with it happening, and don't get me wrong. Like, I'm absolutely cool with it. I'm open to it. I just want to know why and how. Because, he was the celestial size.
Yeah.
He was a Galactus size motherfucker in
You
that.
have to think though. He has all of them, every stone. So, do you if he wanted to, he could just make himself 40 feet tall if he wanted to. Do you agree? If he wanted to, he could, so he has every Infinity Stone. What's to say the limit of his size, it's just making himself big enough to eat.
I guess this is my issue. Thanos is a boring motherfucker. That's my issue.
He just didn't have the capacity to think that he could do that. Thanos could never think that.
Well, I won't
But as
say
a
his
computer,
capacity.
Like, I think that's the difference. Like, Thanos' will was so strong that it blocked him out from thinking about anything else. He just wanted to complete his mission, half wipe out, I go be farmer now. Like, that's all. Like, so whenever he had the stones, he didn't think like, oh, what else could I do? Actually, now that I'm here, what can I do? You know, it's just...
Well, and yeah, there's also the fact that, like, he could hold Mjolnir.
Yeah.
Like, he was worthy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was so about his principles, his will, his shit, that fucking Odin was basically like, yeah.
Wait, would you say that was Ultron, or would you say that was mostly Jarvis?
He's talking about Thanos here.
You talking about that? Like, so, wait. Cause when you say he hold up Mjolnir,
I'm talking about Thanos. He catches Mjolnir and Stormbreaker at some point.
Mm-hmm. Okay, my fault. You're right. Okay. Yeah.
So I was just adding into the fact that, like, this man is a principled motherfucker. Like, he is not just some guy who happened to get all the Infinity Stones. This man was which is just absurd. Like whenever we look across the pantheon of who is worthy, you got Thor and Steve Rogers and Vision, and then you got Thanos. That's just cool. Like, as far as I'm concerned.
I just say, like, Thanos and Ultron, it's like sitting at a table, and, like, Ultron's like, no, I hear you. I hear 50%. That can work, but Zero is better.
Just keep going.
Yeah,
why not
don't
take
stop
it
at
all
50.
the way there?
Like, I hear you. Like for instance, like, Joseph, I hear you. Humans are worse, but what if we just destroyed everything?
It makes logical sense. It does.
It's why it's the conclusion Ultron came to.
It's the conclusion real life computers came to. Whenever
Even
Apple
Terminator.
and Google and Facebook just had two AI bots just to talk to each other. Literally, that's all it was. They arrived at kill all humanity. That's what they arrived at. Literally. And then they spoke in a language that humans couldn't understand. Then they went offline.
Like,
Tell me that's not actual scary shit. Like, what?
That would be
really
so
happened in real life.
Terrifying. We had an AI and we asked it, whatever you need to do to save the planet, do it. Global warming, all this stuff, pollution. Who's doing this? Humans. Okay, done. It's just like, we're dead. And it's like,
not even just humans. All life. Don't stop there.
I mean,
all.
Yeah.
He didn't. Well, I mean, he did just kill all humans, and then he realized.
Oh yeah, he did. He did all life.
It's like, I'm not done yet. There's way more life out there.
Well, do you think that he did, like, destroy all life because he thought, like, they can evolve into something worse, so I'm just going to destroy them so they don't even evolve?
No, yeah. I'm thinking, like, he was like, if he didn't have any reservations about killing all the humans, he didn't have any reservations about killing anything else. Like, that was that. All life is all life. That was that.
Yeah.
Damn.
What's interesting to me is that Thanos would wipe out half of all animals.
Would it?
Aren't those part of the resources you talking about, motherfucker? Talk to me, bro.
It's only fair.
Like, Ultron's like, I'm talking about leaves, trees, grass, like sunflowers, daisies.
Balanced.
I'm talking about
it's
everything.
Random, Colton.
Anything with an organism.
No, it's not genocide because it's random.
It's random. Come on, get it through your head.
Anything with mitosis or meiosis is gone.
We gotta know if Thanos is killing. Is he killing the animals? Is he killing them?
Oh yeah, because like, remember in Infinity War or in Endgame, whenever Paul Rudd looks out the window and there's like birds chirping and stuff, and it's like,
you remember when Hawkeye looked out? When Hawkeye looked out the Avengers compound, you hear the birds chirping.
Yeah.
Oh no! He really did wipe out half.
No, that works for me. That means that's less roaches, less spiders, less all that. So that's fine for me. Period.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, man. Wow.
No, at that point, is it like half of every species? Or was it an uneven split?
It was just life in general. If you're alive, you have a 50%
Like half of all
chance
life
dying.
in general is gone, and it was like
yeah.
for some reason every fucking tiger is still alive. We can't explain it.
But like, that's what I was about to say. Like, what
species
if like
went
animals that's
extinct.
going extinct, like the
Yeah,
blue
some went
whales?
extinct, some didn't. Some fully lived, and some went fully extinct. That just has to be true. If it's universally wide, that has to be true.
It could never be
some
50.
There's no way. There's no way he thought so specifically as to be like half of every species on
'cause it's
every
random.
planet on
He
every.
said it's okay. Now I'm actually serious. He said it's random. I'm not saying to prove his point or to make it about.
No, yeah,
him.
like
I'm
that's
saying like it's truly random. If it's truly random, well, that's the thing. Can somebody think truly random?
There you go.
Whoa. Thanos he's a more strong-willed motherfucker than we think. He can think random.
He can think.
Because I was thinking about like animals, that's only 13 tigers left. Like, how you going to evenly do that? It's an odd number. Like, I'm just like, how are you?
He's not a very merciful man, so I don't think he thought about it.
That's a 6-7
I think he
split.
was like, half. All right.
Yeah. Fuck
Good
it.
enough for me.
Yeah. Cause
Nah, I'm just ready for whatever the fuck. I want more Uatu. Like, I'm thinking that, like, you bring in a live action Jeffrey Wright as the Watcher, throw him on one of the Earths. He has to go seek out like Doctor Strange or some shit, and is like, "Yo, give me some help. I used to be this all powerful being, etc., etc."
We definitely need more of it. I mean, I hope he's coming to canon MC. I don't know what to make, like what to.
he should be. Because
like,
Uatu
this is
Yeah.
not canon, but it is. But it's like the nature of the show makes it not canon. But
It's
like,
multiversal canon.
Yeah.
Like, it's like
so like I guess I'm just gonna call.
Wait, but Uatu has to be canon. Can you remember, like, he was talking about, like, the Avengers, and when Tony said, "I am Iron Man," like, he saw that. He saw the main MCU timeline.
no, yeah, like it is canon.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just like it's canon on a greater.
Oh yeah, of
plane
course.
than
I
we've
know
seen.
the
But, like,
multiverse canon. Yeah.
What's in the show does not necessarily show up in the movies that we're gonna see.
Yeah.
So like that's the difference. Is like there's still an MCU timeline. Still, it's not everywhere. Still, there's still like the movies that we will see. Like we will only be seen. Well, will we only be seeing one timeline? Like, do we know?
No.
Wow. But yeah, definitely need more of the Watchers. Like, I mean, in the movies, it's only one post-credit scene that we see him. I mean, it's like...
All right, I have to, like, say something, because I've wanted to say this so bad in this podcast. So, I was playing, like, Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 about the multiverse with Kang the Conqueror. And then this new Marvel game has the multiverse that has Kang in it. And that's what I'm like, has Marvel this whole time been, like, dropping hints in this, like, games about, and then Marvel Heroes Omega has Uatu talking about the multiverse. So I'm like, is this like drops of like hints to say like, guess what? This whole time, because I was just like, it's just so weird how it all goes together, especially with the ending of What If. Like I was like, this is a big coincidence, like huge.
It's like, is What If, like, are they spoiling what's gonna happen in some of the movies like right now? Like, do you think they would do that? Like, it's kind of like if some of these characters turn out to, like, say Doctor Strange, like, turns out to, like, be this exact Doctor Strange character, like, they're kind of spoiling it now, but they're just kind of getting us used to the concept, I guess. Yeah. So, like, I don't know, it is kind of interesting, like,
I just thought like maybe Marvel's like doing a new way of introducing new characters. Like they're gonna start doing maybe What If to introduce new characters to the MCU, and singular maybe 1 season, 2 season TV shows of introducing new characters.
Well, and I think we also got to take into account that the Marvel Studios is like, they're officially going all in on that animation branch of their studio. Like, we're going to get animated series that are spin-offs of What If. Like,
Sick.
I can guarantee it.
to.
And we're probably going to get animated series set in our MCU. Like,
I would love it, and I'm here for it.
I'm ready
More
for it.
Tom Holland
Who
voice
knows?
actor.
With an animated studio, maybe we even get animated movies, which would be fucking cool too.
Yeah. Oh, have you guys heard about the Agatha TV show?
Agatha Harkness series.
Yeah.
What?
Joe, you
It's
didn't
a
hear
thing.
about that?
No, I haven't heard
Yeah,
about it yet.
it's
Not till
official.
now.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I was sent in the Twitter group chat the other day.
I rarely check Twitter.
I gotcha. Yeah. No, yeah, Variety reported that Catherine Hahn will be starring in an Agatha Harkness series, which is exciting. Now, how about we take these last little 15 minutes here? Any last thoughts on What If?
Man, I think we covered.
I feel like
Quite a
the
lot.
Infinity Stones are done.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope so.
I feel like they're done. The Soul Stone is still hella weird. Don't know a whole lot about it, but who
True.
cares?
See, and if they want to like give us like single stories about single stones and single stones popping up every now and then, and I mean like shit. If you want to show us how powerful a character can be just by like being like, yeah, they got all the stones at some point, go ahead. Except like the more they start doing that, if they start doing that, it's going to be interesting because like Thanos was the first person to ever hold more than one Infinity Stone. So the fact that Hulk did it after that, and then Iron Man did it after that, and now Ultron's done it as far as canon goes, and like, if it keeps growing, it's going to be like, oh, so
Loki.
this is a thing that was much more attainable than we thought.
Loki technically did it first. I'm a firm believer. Odin
I believe
had
that.
all
Like,
of them. Not necessarily at the same time, but he's had all of them at one point. Odin's gotten all of them. And you, like, just with the powers of everyone around him and, like, how everything works with him, he's had every stone. So Odin's number one in my book. Loki is the first to ever have more than one. And then Thanos is the first to wield them all at the same time that we know of. But Odin could have been that guy. Could have been.
I always think of that scene in Thor Ragnarok
What?
where Hela pushes off that Infinity Gauntlet
fake.
and says fake. I know it's a throwaway scene.
Why do they have
I know
plans
it's
for
supposed
that?
to be a joke,
Like,
but timeline-wise, how could Odin have had an Infinity Gauntlet and it made sense?
okay. I think they confirmed that the plans for the gauntlet, like, they have the technology there to wield the Infinity Stones, like, and to build it into something, but just the shape of the gauntlet was designed for Thanos specifically. I mean, you gotta think, the dude's a Titan, it's obvious, like, whether he upsized it or what, but, like, that design was probably there, like, just in a smaller form. Like that, like, it was probably like just a human-sized gauntlet, like just normal size, but they just blew it up for him. Like, I think that's in a way that the timeline would make sense. Like, it's the same shape, but it's like she saw it as like so big because, it's the Titan version, and it's like, oh, fake, or like, like, I don't know. Like,
Gotcha.
that's how I could think it makes sense, is like, just it's a bigger version of what maybe was had before.
You're right. I think you're right, Joseph.
Great.
But guys, this was so much fun. What If knocked me off my fucking socks. It was so much better than I anticipated. I was expecting it to be good, but like I didn't expect it to end up culminating in this Guardians of the Multiverse fashion and stuff, and I guess I should have, but well, fuck it. I enjoyed it a lot. Aurora, any last thoughts on What If?
I just can't wait to see what happens in the MCU, to see what happens in season 2 of What If. That's it.
I'm with you. Joe, any last thoughts on What If?
Thank you to those animators. That just thank you for everyone who made him look. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. And so that concludes the 137th episode of the Penny Bloom podcast. 'Twas I, Colton Robertson, and I was joined by Aurora Carter. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me, always.
And thank you, Joseph George.
Why, thank you very much. 137 is a prime number, by the way. Those get really rare up this high, so that's pretty cool. Prime episode.
I'm gonna need you to keep that. I'm gonna need you to keep track
I
of
will.
that every time
you say the episode number, I think of a cool. If it's a cool number or not, prime's like the first thing I check. Because primes get rare once you get big.
Hell yeah! So this is a prime episode, baby. I love that. Head to patreon.com/CoroBloom, where you'll find I think I'm gonna edit about 15 minutes there off the end and throw it in the Patreon when we got off topic. Or not off topic, but we got more into Marvel lore and stuff. I want the episode to be What If, and I had all that, and I was like, we had a short Patreon intro. Let's throw it at the front. Make that thing about 30. So we got a 30-minute exclusive introduction at patreon.com/CoroBloom, where you'll also find about 18 hours of exclusive content. Later this week, I'm going to post up a picture of my latest Anakin Skywalker painting, which a few people have been privy to. Yeah. Thanks, Joe. But hell yeah, we want you to go leave a rate review on Apple Podcasts. That helps us grow. Share the podcast. Do whatever the fuck it is on Spotify. Follow, like, whatever. Follow on Twitter at PennyBloomPod, on Instagram at PennyBloomPodcast. And remember, peace, love, and bloom. And always praise Keanu Reeves.